Hi everybody. So this video here is going to be about my myomectomy experience. So 2 weeks ago from today is March 1st, 2017. So 2 weeks ago on February the 15th, 2017, I was scheduled to have an open myomectomy, which is similar to a C-section, just without the baby. So it is a horizontal abdominal incision below the belly button to go in and remove fibroids from your uterus. I recorded a previous video about my fibroids. So if you want to know more about my fibroids and what it did to mess up my life, go see the previous video on that. So my surgery went well. The fibroid that actually was removed was 12 centimeters, which is the size of a cantaloupe. We did not know it was that big. At first, we thought we were going to go in and remove 2 individual fibroids. Come to find out, it was one big, huge fibroid. The fibroid was actually pedunculated, which means that it was on top of my uterus and connected to my uterus by a stalk. So my doctor did not have to make an incision inside my uterus, inside the uterine wall at all, which I am very grateful for, because then that means in the future, if I do become pregnant, I can have vaginal birth. I don't have to have a C-section. Okay, so the day of my surgery, I was a nervous wreck. Because I'm one of those people who are afraid of surgery. Hey, if you can go in and go through surgery with a clear head, kudos to you, but I can't. I was a nervous wreck. And so when it was over and I came to, I was wheeled into my room. I had to actually stay 1 day. And that is because, like I said, the location of where my fibroid was. The nurses thought I was going to stay 2 to 3 days. Normally, when people have myomectomies or hysterectomies, they do stay 2 to 3 days. But my doctor assured me that I only needed to had to stay 1 night, only because, like I said, it wasn't a very deep incision. My fibroid was actually sitting on top of my uterus. So I kind of healed very well. The first day, thank God for medication. I didn't experience any pain. I was given morphine that was actually in my IV, and I had a button that I can hit every 10 minutes to give myself morphine, and I was hitting that button every 10 minutes like clockwork. I also was given 800 milligrams of ibuprofen, and I think that was the only 2 medications at the time that I had. I didn't feel anything. I was great. I wasn't too loopy either. I was very aware and alert, but I didn't feel any pain. Now, trying to roll over and sit up the very, very first day out of surgery was a nightmare. I needed assistance to do everything. The nurses wanted me to be able to stand up and just move to another seat. I would probably say 12 hours after surgery. So at about 12 midnight, a nurse came in just to have me get me out of bed and put me into and let me sit on the couch just so that I could move. By the morning, they were having me get up and actually go to the restroom. Now, that first 24 hours, I had a catheter in, so I couldn't use the restroom. I was actually using the restroom through the catheter, but after they took that out, they wanted to make sure that I was able to get up and be able to go to the restroom on my own, which I successfully did. Okay, so I was discharged, like I said, within 24 hours. I was sent home with the 800 milligram ibuprofens. And then, of course, they gave me what is called, it's another generic word for hydrocodone. I want to say it's called narco, but it's a type of hydrocodone. I took that when I got home. Probably my surgery was on a Wednesday. By Friday, I was off of those meds. I didn't like the way they made me feel. And this is only because I was anemic. So I had lost a lot of blood prior to surgery. So my blood levels were very low. And so that medicine just made me feel just too loopy. I didn't like the way that made me feel. It freaked me out. I stopped taking it. And plus, I really didn't need it. I was healing. I am so surprised. I was healing very, very well. When I got home, of course, like if you are doing any research online about a myomectomy, a lot of women say have a pillow on deck so that you can push it up against your incision. So anytime you need to sit up or sit down or roll over, you'll have that extra added support. And that is the best advice. I had that pillow pushed up against me for every movement I needed to make the first 48 hours. Coughing was terrible because I think you had during surgery you had something down the gas and the going down your throat that you're trying to cough it up. It was so terrible. I didn't even want to cough because it hurt so bad. And I didn't want to laugh either. My boyfriend, he thinks he's a comedian. And so he's just cracking jokes about everything. And so I'm trying not to laugh, and it hurts to laugh, it hurts to cough. Oh, but by that Saturday, I was absolutely fine. It still hurt to get up from laying flat because, mind you, when you're in the hospital, your hospital bed is kind of sort of at an angle. So you're not laying flat, but you're not sitting straight up. The bed that I have at home doesn't have that luxury. And so coming from laying flat to sitting up was just the worst. But after 48 hours, I was healing so well that I didn't have that complication anymore. Walking, it was kind of hard to do. It was more of a slow pace. Gravity wasn't my friend, only because I'm a larger woman, so I have a larger stomach. So gravity was not my friend at all. So walking was just terrible. But overall, my myomectomy experience wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I know a lot of women in my own personal life who have had this surgery. Some have actually had hysterectomies. And just talking to them and hearing their stories and their experiences calmed me a lot. So even though I was scared to death, I knew I was going to be all right because they were all right. And my doctor is the best. And I trusted her with everything. If you live in Fort Worth, Texas, and you don't have a gynecologist, Dr. Patty Ann Hart, okay, off of 8th Avenue in Fort Worth, Texas. That is my doctor. She is the best. I love her to death. She's just so personal, and she makes you just feel like, like she's your best friend. I love her to death. She did a great job, a very great job. And so that's my myomectomy experience. And so she gave us the green light to go ahead and try to conceive after 2 months. So it is March now. My surgery was in February, March, April. So in April, we're going to start doing the damn thing. Okay, so that's my myomectomy experience. Let me know about yours.